Yes, excellent.
Should be live. Just give me a second, just to double check this. And then there we go.
Yes, excellent.
Should be live. Let me just turn this volume. Check it, the volumes are all right. And then there we go.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah, there we go. We're both live. They're having some technical difficulties. We are having some technical difficulties. We had this worked out earlier, but Keiser is here.
Yeah, legends. Thanks for having me, Baz.
I'll just turn that down a bit, just get the volumes right. That's perfect. Should sound a bit better. So, Keiser, what about the game so far?
Oh, utterly majestic so far, bro.
What about that for a game?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Kenny, he looks a completely different. We'll talk about Johnny Kenny first. He looks a completely different player from the one that joined Celtic 2 and a bit seasons ago. He looks physically, he's a lot bigger and a lot stronger. I mean, he looks completely different. I mean, he's grown as a lad. But what a scoreline! What an absolute screamer of a scoreline!
Yeah, outstanding, Baz, mate. As you said yourself, Johnny Kenny coming on there, really pressing, looked powerful, not afraid to put himself about.
Yep.
Brendan said earlier on in the presser, I believe, that he's a natural finisher. He knows the way to go. When in the press event, when he was being interviewed.
Yep.
I don't want to set anybody alight by using the wrong words for the event.
Yeah.
The presser up at Parker's.
Up at Parker's. Fucking Parker's. That I'm gonna pinpoint Arne Engels. What a game he had. What a cross what a pass for Dyson Maida. And then he gets his own goal. And fair enough, it had a little tiny bit of deflection, but Jesus, what a goal it was! What a goal it was! There was just the passage of play, everything was absolutely perfect tonight, right for the start. I mean, who would you say was man of the match for that?
I think you're 110% accurate there, Baz, in what you're saying. Arne Engels was absolutely majestic from open play.
Yep.
From the spot kick as well, absolutely buried it.
Yep.
Gave up that stupid little stuttering run.
Yep.
Stopped that. He's just head down and buries it in the bottom corner. He's shot as well, Baz. You know yourself, it does take a little nick off the defender.
Yeah.
But the power in that shot.
The power it.
Outstanding. What a majestic performance. Essential performance, Baz, from us tonight.
Yes, absolutely amazing performance. We need to talk about Jota. Some of his foot movement is just sublime. He was born to play at a much, much higher level than this. When you see some of the passes that he was trying to do, there was one little back heel flick that he was trying to do, and it reminded me of a Barcelona-esque type, Barcelona, Real Madrid type player performance. It was just unbelievable. What do you think of Jota?
Yeah, Baz, he's just so silky, flamboyant and technical with that movement. It just dances over the ball, sending the defender the wrong way every time. They don't know how to move, how to shut him down, and he attacks so fast. Sorry, Baz, I get cut off there for 2 seconds. Yeah, outstanding, mate. My mic just cut off.
Aye.
Try to turn the kettle off in the background.
Try to turn the kettle off in the background. Yeah, that is a bit noisy, but it's. I'm going to go into the chat and see what folk are saying in the chat. Kenny getting a goal would have been the cherry on the cake. Well, when you look at it, the scoreline doesn't lie. It was an absolutely fantastic scoreline by Celtic. I mean, I said 4. I thought it would be a tighter game than it was, but 6-0. 6-0 was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And who'd you pick as man of the match for that?
From the entire game, Baz,
Aye.
I thought there was a few standout performances, right, mate? As you said yourself, Jota was sublime.
Yep.
Greg Taylor threaded a fantastic ball through as well. Hatate was ever industrious and working very hard.
Yep.
Not used to seeing that from Hatate, but he's
Yeah.
really kicking it into high gear.
Yep.
It seems that way across the squad. It's really like the RB game, Baz. We're really back to that really intense pressing. I think Brendan's getting us ready for a real go at the Champions League, regardless of who.
This is the running. This is Brendan time. This is what Brendan calls Celtic time. This is the time that, you know, this is when you show how good you are, and you show that you're champions. You show that why we are top of the league. You show that why we are sitting with so many goals. Every single player tonight was, if this is the future of Celtic, and this is the future of Brendan Rodgers in the next year, we're in for an absolutely fantastic style of football, because you've got to say, whatever Brendan's done in the last week, if this is him just getting into the groove, we should say, if this is him getting into the groove, there's going to be some fantastic football to watch at Celtic. And you're right, maybe this is him getting the type of player that he wants in for the Champions League. This is why he's not so fussy about going in and spending money to get Tom, Dick and Harry. I mean, the performance was absolutely amazing tonight.
We were so fluid as well, Baz. I believe Maeda was outstanding as well. He started out in the right, he swaps over to the left when Kuhn comes on. He linked up with Jota, he got his goal, he scored with the head. It was just sublime. There's just so much positivity from tonight's game, given how bad the closing of the window was and how we all felt a little bit underwhelmed by our performance in the transfer market.
Dyson's on Celtic TV just now. He's asking how does it feel to have. I'm happy. He's happy having Jota back.
Let's go, legend. There's the main man, Ian Aberdeen.
Ian Aberdeen's back in the chat. Jesus, Ian Aberdeen's at it again.
Ian's been offshore working.
Has he?
It seems like it, Baz. He's back with
money. So. Ian, you're far too kind to this channel. Absolutely far too kind to the channel. He's just gifted out 10 memberships. Dyson Maeda gets man of the match.
Yeah.
I'm going to
just saying, Baz, there or not, Ian, thank you so much, Ian Legend, for supporting this channel. I love watching Baz's channel, always on it, every single day. So when you're supporting the channel, really, you're helping all of us have a great channel to watch and a great place to hang out in the comments. Thank you so much, Legend.
Yep, thank you, Ian. You're you're unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm just busy trying to. We did have Keiser up on pictures. We did have a video connection, but it has died. That's why Keiser's picture has frozen. We did have. I mean, I could put the full picture up, but yes, thank you, Ian Aberdeen.
Could you not put the nicer picture up where I've got my thumbs up, Baz, and I look happy? You know that cell block H one?
No, the cell block H.
You're doing me dirty, big man. Look at Keiser earlier tonight. This man was spotted.
All right. This was the look on the second goal going on.
Exactly.
Let's get back to talking.
Manager's face. Replicated.
Talking about Celtic. I mean, how good out of 10 were Celtic tonight? I mean, I think it was absolutely has to be a 12 out of 10 the way that they played.
Yep, we were right up there, Baz, 100%. 10 out of 10, if not more than 10 out of 10. Every player was absolutely on it. Makes you wonder what happened when we went away to Snake Mountain and the players just didn't turn up. A night like tonight, and when we played like that, it makes you really wonder what was going on there. Some people just didn't turn up. But when they turn up like that, fear absolutely no team in the world are Celtic are playing like this right now.
That's it. There's Engels penalty. I mean, I put it up on the Facebook page. He didn't do that stuttering thing that he usually does, but I mean, I thought it was brilliant. It was just perfect. I was surprised that we got that penalty. I'll be honest. I didn't think that it was. I, it was hard to see how it was a penalty, but when you look at it back in slow motion, you could see that it was. Who got the membership gifts, Baz? Jamesy Boyd? I don't know. There was quite a lot of people. I didn't hand them out. That's coming through on the chat bit that I've set up. That's in the questions. We'll go back to the live chat. So yeah, there was a. It's just whoever Ian Aberdeen sees, and has he actually said anything in the chat? He just came in and gifted memberships, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the memberships drop at random, but on your YouTube account you need to select it and make yourself available to receive gifted memberships. It doesn't just give you them for being in here.
Right.
You need to click the buttons at the side, and it makes your account acceptable to receiving gifted memberships.
Right.
So if people in chat are wondering why they're not getting them, that's why it's random.
What about the Adam Eder goal? I mean, the ref looked at it at VAR. Adam Eder tries to get the shot away at the keeper. The Jota comes in, tries to get the goal, rebounds off the keeper, and then Adam Eder once again in the right place. And you see him getting off his arse. That's the difference between Adam Eder now and I think Adam Eder earlier on in the season. He's as soon as he's watching the ball, even though he's had that shot at goal, he's seen the ball coming out and he's been really reactive and instinctive and he's like, where's that ball going? I'm getting myself back up. And that's the sign I'm sorry, but that's the sign of a £9 million player. That's the sign of a £9 million player. I'll stop donating when Aberdeen flipping win a game. says Ian Aberdeen.
It's never going to happen.
I am still shocked at the way that Aberdeen have went this season. I mean, we could talk about that another time, but I am still shocked. I mean, Aberdeen were pushing us so hard, and they've just totally collapsed. But Celtic, when we look at the stats for Celtic tonight, Celtic had 18 shots in total, 8 on target. The possession, I wasn't far off with the possession. It was 81%. I think I said 82 before the game started. Passes, we had 767 passes. The pass accuracy was 89%. There was 9 fouls, 1 yellow card, 2 offsides, and 6 corners for Celtic. When you look at the passes that Dundee had, they only had 188 passes. Their pass accuracy was terrible. But was it terrible? Was it the fact that Celtic were on fire and closing them down like nobody's business? Their pass accuracy was only 58%. And that does go down to the fact that Celtic were just so good tonight. There's Arnie Engels now getting interviewed with Adam Eder. Celtic TV are going for it tonight.
Yep, excellent, Baz. As you said there, mate, I'll just nip in while you're listening to that. Unless you want to play it, live, that's up to you, brother.
I'm not going to turn up. The missus is in bed.
Best avoid the wrath, held up in fury, like the hand of God scorned.
I know.
As you brushed on yourself there, Baz, I watched the first incident that led to the penalty. I didn't see too much in it myself at full speed, but when I seen the replay back, I thought definite penalty. He's pulling the man, but he's all over the top of him there. Yeah. So 110%. Slotted away expertly, as we said, by Engels, bringing into that second one, which I think was really well worked. Engels springs the offside. No, sorry, Eder beats the offside trap there.
Yep.
Going through, they try to review it with the VAR. See what's happening with it. Try anything they can do to rule it out. He takes that first time shot with the outside of his right boot, really makes the keeper work. But deflects back out, and as you said yourself, Eder right up off the ground and back at it.
I'm just listening to Adam Eder now. Adam Eder's so chilled out, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I enjoyed his celebration tonight as well, Baz. He doesn't usually go wild with the celebrations, but he gave us a celebration tonight.
Yeah. It makes Adam Eder's job a lot easier, having Jota and everyone. It is just, if when you look at the way, I mean, Adam Eder, Second choice striker, player that people didn't fancy due to his price tag. Are people talking about his price tag now? Are people? I mean, that's a goal every game. Statistically, I think he's now better than the player that left Celtic. I think he's statistically now better than the player that left Celtic halfway through this season. And when you look at that, £11 million a steal, isn't it? Surely, Keiser.
Yeah, absolutely, my man. You're spot on again. He's just coming into his own right now. I've said it time again. He had all the physical attributes to be an absolute asset for Celtic.
Yeah.
But he's just really developed, Adam. He's found that confidence and he's found his nose for goal. He's really firing now. And as you're saying yourself, with Jota, shining, Kuhn, absolutely electric, Maeda in there doing all sorts of work as well, playing fantastically, weighing in with goals from both sides. It must be a joy to play in there because we're just tearing teams apart. I did think we would have come out of the window, as you were saying, Baz, squad depth wise, we definitely came out weaker. But looking at tonight's game, by God, were we sexy?
Yeah, that's it. That was. There's Brendan Rodgers now talking. I'll try and get Brendan Rodgers on here. I don't know if that will come through.
Yep, I can hear it, bro.
The attitude in the game, the energy in the game, and obviously against some of these teams that always work so hard and make it really difficult for you. I thought that we played the system really well this evening. So and obviously our goals were absolutely brilliant. So so pleased. Obviously, having played Sunday and then into Wednesday and not a great deal of recovery, but the attitude, as I said, the hunger in the team was impressive.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that represented everything that you're asking for on the training pitch day in, day out. It had the intensity, but it also had a touch of class and swagger about it.
Yeah. I said beforehand that they caught us out against them when we conceded just before half time.
This is revenge, isn't it?
It was the counter press. And tonight that side of the game, the defensive side was brilliant, really hungry to get the ball back, hunted in our numbers, and it was really impressive.
From a finishing point of view, I don't know if it's easy to pick what was the best goal in the game. You've had a team move that started in one corner and finished with a goal at the other end, Dyson's chip, and so many goals to choose from. So what was your highlight of the evening then?
I think that goal, like you say, we were under pressure down in the bottom corner. We stayed calm, made our passes, connected the game, took the ball out the other side out of pressure. Arna's pass was brilliant, but Dyson's finished him. Like I said, his best side is his left side, but tonight you can see his movement off the ball, and his finish was sublime. It was such a fantastic finish, and then his other goal before that, obviously his run at the back post after a great ball by Jota. So Nicholas, as you say, was outstanding goal as well. Nice.
He doesn't look too happy.
I think in fairness to Trevor and their goal, there wasn't a lot he could do about the goals that we scored.
Now, Dyson's proving really effective across the front line, but you must be really pleased with the contributions of Adamida, now with 4 and 3, and the introduction of Jota, who's just adding that little bit more entertainment. It's very all just to say you should entertain, and he does.
He does, but what he is, he's very effective. He doesn't just look a good player. He produces, and he produces moments, big moments of quality, and so you can see his confidence when he has the ball, and it just gives you that different dimension to the team. So, but yeah, no, I thought the quality of the game was very good. Like you say, Adam getting in on the goals. He's made some great runs this evening. Gets his reward for making one of the penetrating runs. But for me, I've always said I don't lose sleep over who scores, and we've got one winger on 18 goals, we've one on 17. We've got strikers scoring, midfield players scoring. So
it's very pure silent. It's not picking up Brendan Rodgers. It's not picked up Brendan Rodgers on that. The focus said it's silent Keiser.
I can hear it coming through minds, mate. I can tell you everything Brendan Rodgers just said there. He was just elaborating on Jota and how he manufactured that goal for the left back position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a sublime goal.
Yep. That's maybe just folks a little bit
Is this
deaf.
chat? Do you think
It's
they're
this.
widos? Is
I
this
know.
chat?
I know. Brendan Rodgers. I mean, are you watching it on Celtic TV? Brendan Rodgers. He looks like I don't know if he's relaxed or if he's pissed off. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell if he is totally chilled out and he's thinking, yeah, we're getting there, or maybe there's a bit of him thinking, I'm one or two players for achieving something really damn good at Celtic. Because when you watch that passage of play, I mean, you're talking when you're watching that game tonight. I would say that was as good as anything that he did when he was at Liverpool. The type of football was played tonight.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. That's what
and
we're
if
lefty.
if that's if we if that's the type of football that we can look forward to, and if we can attack the Champions League next year with just one or two more players that can make the squad even better, would you know? And I think that it's going to be unbelievable, unbelievable, um, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's what you're seeing there, Baz. As I says to you, brother, I'm listening through your microphone, so I
Yeah,
couldn't see Brendan's face. Given that interview there, he's got to be looking at Jota turning it on and performing. As I says, he utterly manufactures that goal. If you look at it back, Jota picks up the ball in the left back. Callum McGregor's pointing for him to pass it back
yeah,
to Casper Schmeichel, and he just that direct play, that he's got that intelligence about him to go no and stick it right into Callum's feet. Callum turns round, the move starts building for there, resulting in Dice and Maida's chip. Absolutely stunning football. Brendan's got to be delighted with that. But that being said, he must be looking at that window just past and thinking to himself, if I had added another one or two diamonds to this squad, if Kieran Tierney had come up the road, and if I
I'm not,
had got someone else in,
but when if you listen to Brendan wasn't expecting Kieran Tierney in this window. Brendan Rodgers is thinking ahead. He knows that he's getting Kieran Tierney in the summer. So if he's now turning his thoughts to a top quality striker, and then we've got Johnny Kenny as your third choice striker. I mean, that young lad looks. You would never think he was the age he was, you know. And I mean, they're showing the Engels goal again. I mean, he deserved his goal tonight. That was absolutely fantastic. But when you look at the dynamics of the team now, it's not. It's not heavily relying on Kyogo and the minute. And maybe that's what Brendan Rodgers is needed for the team. Maybe we needed to get rid of Kyogo to let everyone else really shine. What do you think?
yeah, Baz, exactly. We seem to be locked in there with Kyogo. Brendan was always picking him. He was ever
Yeah,
present. Adam wasn't really getting his chance. It seems to be with Kyogo being out of there. We all know he was Angie's main man, the
yeah,
tip of the spear. Ange would direct everyone to get the ball to Kyogo. Just make sure you're getting it in there to Kyogo.
yeah,
Maybe with this being a bit free of that, we really took the shackles off because, as we've said over and over again, Baz, and I can't stress it enough, what a sensual performance from Celtic tonight. I'm
yeah.
kind of going to need to go for a cold shower when we're finished this and settle down after that game.
It will that. They're showing the Nico Kuhn one. He's just came on and thrown the gauntlet down to Jota, hasn't he? Nico
Yeah,
Kuhn. I mean,
yeah. I love
he's
I love
completely
his
just
attitude, Maz, when he just walks away after doing that, as if to say, "Here I am. I'm still here as well.
yep.
Make sure you remember I'm here." Absolutely loving the competition within the squad right now. It's frightening.
So this Celtic TV just put the league table up. We're on 25 games, the same as everyone else. We've won 21, we've drawn 3, we've lost 1, and we are sitting top of the league, looking down on everyone else. It's a fantastic place to be in at this stage of the season, heading into the run-ins well underway, sitting on 66 points. We are, funnily enough, a few points behind the team that did the Invincible. Obviously, we're not doing the Invincible this year because we've drawn 3 games and we've lost 1. I think we won most games that season, didn't we? But anyway, we're about 8 or 9 points behind where they were. Goal-wise, we've scored 73 goals this season. 73 goals this season, and people are complaining about the goals that we've conceded. We've only conceded 12 goals all season. So we can all have a dig at the defence, and people have a dig about Greg Taylor, but when you look at that stat, 12 against all season, you can't complain, can you, Kaiser?
No, domestically, Baz, we are more than solid. We are tighter than a Dolphins bum cheeks. We are watertight defensively.
Yep.
Domestically, it's the performances when we're exposed in Europe that are so hard to take because we play so well domestically.
Yep.
The lack of an obvious challenger really pushing us is evident. That's why you say yourself, Ian Aberdeen in chat as well. Aberdeen were doing so well to push us in the early stages of the season, provide that domestic competition and keep us sharp. But now it's fell away, and I can confirm it is minus 13 in Ibrox, Baz, because I just looked out my window.
You just looked out your
Polar
window.
Bears playing tig.
There's Polar Bears playing tig. With Aberdeen having had such a good start to the season and them falling away, it's the disappointing thing for me is that they completely just fell to pieces. I was hoping that they were going to push that other mob for second place. I was hoping they were going to keep them in third. I mean, I did say at the beginning of the season, the perfect end to a season for me would Aberdeen finish second and Hearts and Kilmarnock get relegated. But they've managed to sort themselves out, and it looks as if we could win the league away at home. To Kilmarnock, and that would be a bit of a smile on the face to a lot of Celtic fans, especially when Kilmarnock come to town.
Yep, definitely. I'd love to collect our title while also giving Derek McInnes something to moan about. He always has something to moan about, doesn't he? I see the chats educating me there. The Dolphins don't have bum cheeks.
Dolphins.
Very sorry, right? Tighter than a Dolphins blowhole. I just didn't want to be so crude.
I don't want to be
just
so
picture
crude.
a Dolphins bum cheeks for a moment.
Usually when we get to the second, I want this Celtic put up, thanks for watching. They're usually just the next fixture is Celtic Raith Rovers, Saturday at 5:15 Central Celtic Park time. The second half, usually when the players come on the second half, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen the form and we've seen the flow of play kind of died down a bit. It didn't happen today. It was all very, very fluid. What do you think of the subs? And have you disappeared?
No, I'm still here, Baz. I was just dealing with my son, mate. He came in for a drink of juice. I'm very sorry. I'm listening away there. The substitutes, usually we fade away and we drop out of the game in the second half. Business is done in the first half with that 2-goal lead. We might have settled for that, but I think you had the nail on the head when you assessed Brendan Rodgers' comments, Baz. He was out for revenge. He seen that free each game and he knew we weren't initiating the press fast enough. The players weren't fully at the races, and he was not going to let us drop the tempo tonight. The substitutes came on and they were absolutely flying as well. Everybody challenging for positions. Everybody wants to play in this Champions League game, Baz.
Yeah. Well, one player that won't be playing is Dyson Maida. And he's meant to be kicking himself. Do you still think, you were the one that said before Kyogo was sold, you were the one that said that the 3 Japanese players have all asked to get away. Do you think it's still the case, and do you think that we'll lose Dyson and Rio Hitati in the summer?
Yeah, I do, Baz. I think all three the players are under pressure from their national manager because they want to go to the World Cup. They've been told basically that he only wants to select players from top 5 leagues around the world. But the French league as a top 5 league is questionable in my opinion, Baz. But it's how their national managers see it. We all know Rio Hitati is wanted away for a little while, right? We all know that. You know that, I know that. So I'm 50-50 now. Losing Dyson Maida was shattering me, Baz. He's one of my favourite players. Absolute benchmark for work rate. But I think it's going to happen.
He's a player that I think that we cannot lose. But if we do, you're going to have Kuhn and Jota on the wings. Surely that will make up for the loss of Dyson. But then what Dyson gives to you is completely different to what Jota. I mean, Jota's feet movement is just unbelievable. When you think when you watch him play, you know that he's up there with some of the top players in Europe. And how we managed to, I'd love to know what Brendan Rodgers, and co said to Jota to get him to come back. Because it must have been more. I mean, Jota said it was a couple of conversations or a couple of phone calls with Brendan. But I mean, he must have really, really laid on what he sees the vision of the future Celtic team.
Yeah,
He must have. He must have.
of course, you heard Jota and you heard the comments on it yourself, Baz. Jota was
Yep.
saying he didn't want to tarnish his legacy.
Yeah.
Everything he done at Celtic was iconic. A lot of pressure on him. Hence, we've seen the relief and maybe the little bit of tears from what he's gone through
Yep.
over the past 18 months. Absolutely no idea what he's gone through. I've commented a few times. I says he looked like he'd been away filming the 2025 remake of Midnight Express because he was very skinny by the time
Yeah.
he came back.
Yep.
But Jota on the chicken wings was another one I was saying, Baz. He should
Yeah.
be on the chicken wings. Bulk him up a little bit, but he's absolutely flying. He's not. It's like he's never been away. It's like Dallas. It's like I closed my eyes and he was in the
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah, I know.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream. It was. That's what it feels like, isn't it? It does. It just feels like it was like. I mean, seeing him back playing at Celtic Park, and you then see how really good he was, and it's no wonder that the Saudis came in for him, because they were going out and trying to cherry pick the best players in European football and to take them there to have this perfect league with sexy football players. You know what I mean? And Jota's up there as far as I'm concerned. Jota is, when I watch Spanish football and you see the top teams, your Atletico Madrid and your Barcelonas and your Real Madrid and teams like that playing on a weekly basis, and you see some of the moves that their forwards doing. Jota was in that mode tonight. You know, he's the one. Some of the passes, you're like, he's expecting automatically players to be in that position. You know, he's way better than anything in Scottish football, and it's going to be a case of, I know we've got him on a 5.5-year deal, which was an absolute blinder by Celtic. It was an absolute blinder to get on such a long contract. There's Mikey saying Jota will be sold when we win 56. Not a chance. Ali's saying that Dyson is only 27 as well. He's got plenty of time left in front of him. And you forget about Dyson. He is only 27. I think there is no need for Dyson to really leave the club when, if he can stop getting sent off in Champions League games, that may help him out just a little bit, because that's what, nearly every season now he's been sent off in the Champions League.
Yep. Stop with the little kickouts.
Yes, and is that just naivety, or is that just a little bit of pressure getting to him on the big occasions?
Yeah, I think it's in that Villa game, you see when he's really pushed by someone who's a big physical athlete.
Yeah.
So someone who's running with him. Clearly, Dyson has the advantage on most players with speed. He's absolutely electrically fast.
Yeah.
But when he gets physically challenged and people are really leaning on him, then maybe that's something he's never had in Japan before he came to Scotland. He doesn't really have players of that physical ilk keeping pace with him and leaning on him. So maybe that's where he shows that frustration. And as you said as well, Baz, spot on about Jota. I think myself, Jota's one of those players, Baz, who reacts to the crowd.
Yes.
See those moments when the crowd stand up and the bums off the seats, the sound of the chairs, the anticipation. He pushes and thrives on that. That would have been lacking when he went to Saudi Arabia, the passion of the support.
Yeah.
And our support is one of the best in the entire world, one of the most impassioned support. They not only let you know when they love you, they let you know when they hate you as well.
yeah, they do that. And there's nothing that the fans could complain about tonight. I'm not sure if there was anything put up with regards. I don't think there was. I don't think that anything was put up with regards to the transfer window. I think that if there was, I mean, I think Brendan covered all bases, and that the interview yesterday by Brendan Rodgers, for me, was probably the best interview that he's ever given the Celtic manager.
Yeah, spot on, Baz. Brendan right, wait, he could have come out there and really been like before he left the last time. We were all expecting it, but he knows every eye's on him for the slightest bit of body language, anything.
Yeah.
But he showed himself how much he learned for the last time, how much his journey taught him when he was away from Celtic, how much he wanted to come back, the love that he has for the club. He also showed that in that interview by reminding everyone that he needs to remain positive. He's
Yeah.
still the same as us fans, the majority of fans that were unhappy with the window. He's the same, but he's the guy who brings the positivity to the training ground. And the squad's been streamlined and they get focused attention from Brendan Rodgers now, a coach of his quality, focused attention on Jota, Maeda, all the other players. He's not wasting time trying to define Lewis Palma anymore. He's not wasting time with
Yeah.
players who are not pardon me, who
Yeah.
are not long term staying at the club. He's got
Yeah.
to focus on players that are ours.
Yeah. And that could only be a good thing as far as Celtic are concerned, because I mean, you see the way if this is what when if this is what you get when Brendan completely focuses on the small group of players that he has on the training pitch, and you only want to you only want to think what influences the young guys, because I mean, you seen the picture I put up in the live earlier. A lot of the younger boys were in training with the first team this week. For the B team, a select few, not Daniel Cummins. So looking forward, I mean, Brendan must be really want to really build something that has more than just his final year left on his contract, surely.
Yep, of course, Baz. I think Brendan's also looking at Callum McGregor and him achieving his 500th game and the help that Brendan was in Callum's career. And he's maybe thinking about
Yep.
bringing our younger players through and leaving that kind of legacy behind at the club as well in the
Yeah.
future. Not now. He's got to be looking at, I would hope, Baz, at least another 5-6 years down the line. That's another thing I expected to see in January was maybe Brendan signing on a new deal, riding that wave of positivity and really forcing us through the next section of the season. But as you say, right, sometimes when the big man closes a door, he opens a window. We've seen that tonight.
Yep.
We got the door slammed in our face, but the window kept back open, and what a show we got.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. It's been absolutely unbelievable. Why is the subs not showing? Your screen. Let me just jump back up to here. I tell you, there's a lot of glitches in the system tonight.
Sometimes when you run it with a new program as well, Baz, it can do that.
Yeah, I should have shut it down and started it up again. A bit like what Brendan Rodgers has done. He's shut it down and he's started it up again. That's what he's done with Celtic. And let me just... that's what he's done.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is that, isn't it? I mean, for all the disappointment, for all the disappointment of to the end of the transfer window, understandably everybody's gutted the way that Kyogo left. But when you look at that team tonight and the way they played, nobody's even going to talk about Kyogo now. Scoring 6 goals, Adam Ida scoring again, third game in a row, and you're bringing on young Johnny Kenny, who, to be fair, almost scored, hits the side netting. If he had scored tonight, that would have just topped off a fantastic day at the office, as they say.
Yeah, exactly, Baz. And I see so many people in chat there are because of new format, and I understand, Baz, you're always right on the chat. I'm in the chat usually.
Yeah.
I see my man James there saying he's not digging this two-way chat between the two of you, and he announces his departure like it's an international airport. It's not an airport, brother. You can leave anytime you want. You don't need to tell anybody. You can just leave.
You can just leave. Anyway, right, we've been on for 39 minutes. That's more than long enough for a Wednesday night. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Hopefully I'll have this sorted out so that we can have Keiser on live. Now, we had it on live early. We should have just kept it on and watched the whole game. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.
Hail, hail, legends.
And I need to jump back on this. Let's just end it. Better get the I've lost the video.
Lit, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit, roll up to the party, roll up